What if I told you that Tottenham getting Champions League qualification would actually be more impressive than Liverpool winning the league last year? Well, why? Because they didn't even really improve by that much. They improved by exactly 2 points. 82 points to 84 points. Same goals scored, same goals conceded, literally identical attacking and defensive records. So how do you go from third place disappointment to Premier League champions? Simple. Everyone else fell apart. Arsenal dropped 15 points, Manchester City collapsed by 20 points, Liverpool just stayed consistent, and that's the real story here. Now, that's where it gets interesting for Tottenham fans. Thomas Frank is walking into the exact same situation that Arne Slot inherited. One signing through the door, a squad that's underperformed but has obvious talent, and a tactical approach focused on getting the best out of what's already there and not spending 200 million on shiny new toys. Well, maybe 200 million would be alright. The similarities are actually quite scary. Both managers are known for intelligent pressing rather than kamikaze football. Both obsessed with optimising player positions. Both came this close to each other's jobs. Frank was apparently almost Liverpool manager before they went with Arne Slot. So can Frank pull off the same trick? Take a group of players who've disappointed, make minimal changes but extract maximum performance. The blueprint's there. Liverpool proved that you don't need to revolutionise everything. Sometimes you just need to stop doing the stupid stuff while your rivals implode. Welcome to Spurs Analytics Lab. I'm about to break down exactly how this could work and how Tottenham reaching the Champions League places would actually be more impressive than Liverpool winning the league. Let's get into it. Before diving into the tactical parallels, it's crucial to establish realistic expectations for Thomas Frank's Tottenham project. Like Liverpool's title triumph under Arne Slot, Champions League qualification would represent the equivalent achievement for Tottenham, and arguably an even more impressive one. The maths are stark. For Tottenham to reach the Champions League qualification, they need to jump from 38 points to approximately 66 points, a 74% improvement. That would represent one of the most dramatic single-season transformations in Premier League history. This context is vital because finishing fifth would actually be a bigger achievement proportionally than what Slot accomplished with Liverpool. While winning the league captures headlines, the scale of the improvement required at Tottenham is far more substantial, making Champions League qualification a realistic but ambitious target that would validate Thomas Frank's appointment. Right, let's get to the critical numbers. What Tottenham must achieve for Champions League qualifications. So, based on Newcastle's fifth place finish in 24-25 with 66 points, Tottenham face a monumental challenge. They need to improve by 28 points, equivalent to approximately 9 additional wins a season. To put that into perspective, last year, 11 wins, 5 draws, 22 losses equals 38 points. Target for Champions League qualification, 20 wins, 5 draws, 13 losses. So 65 to 66 points. This transformation requires converting approximately 6 losses into wins while maintaining their current draw record. Alternatively, they could convert all 5 draws into wins, gaining 10 points, and still need to convert 6 losses into wins to reach the target. Cool, so just need to win more games. But then, how do you do that? Well, obviously, score more and concede less. The attacking improvement needed is actually relatively modest. So Tottenham scored 64 goals in 24-25, just 4 fewer than Newcastle 68. This represents only 0.11 additional goals per game. This is achievable through improved finishing, set-piece efficiency, or tactical adjustments that create higher quality chances. The defensive challenge is far more significant. Tottenham conceded 65 goals compared to Newcastle's 47. An 18 goal difference that translates to a 0.47 fewer goals conceded per game. The improvement here would require better defensive organisation and shape, reduced high-risk pressure situations, improved set-piece defending, greater midfield protection for the back line. These numbers highlight why Thomas Frank's tactical approach could be transformative. His emphasis on defensive solidity and selective pressing directly address Tottenham's primary weaknesses, while maintaining their attacking threat. Potentially one of Arne Slot's greatest achievements was optimising Liverpool's key players by adjusting their roles to maximise efficiency while maintaining team balance. The transformation of Trent Alexander-Arnold's position exemplifies this. Under Klopp, Alexander-Arnold had evolved into an inverted fullback who would drift into central midfield during possession phases. Slot's modification was subtle but transformative. He implemented a double pivot system that allowed Trent Alexander-Arnold to revert to a more traditional right-back role while still providing an attacking threat. This positional adjustment contributed to Liverpool's improved defensive record while maintaining their attacking potency. Mohamed Salah's optimisation was equally significant. Slot positioned the Egyptian to defend less and stay higher up the pitch, conserving energy for decisive attacking moments. The result was Salah's most productive season with 29 goals and 18 assists in 38 Premier League games. Thomas Frank's track record of tactical optimisation suggests transformational potential at Tottenham, particularly when examining the quantitative evidence of how positioning changes can dramatically improve attacking output. The data from Arne Slot's optimisation of Mohamed Salah provides a compelling blueprint of what Frank could achieve with Spurs attacking players. Son Heung-min's potential departure creates both a challenge and an opportunity for Frank's tactical revolution. Multiple reports are now indicating that the South Korean captain is considering offers from the MLS side Los Angeles FC, with his contract situation suggesting a natural transition point. Last year, Son's XG per 90 of 0.34 was significantly lower than what players in more central areas typically achieve, highlighting how Postecoglou's wide positioning may have limited his statistical output. So what happens now? So in his absence, both Matisse Tell and Brennan Johnson could potentially benefit enormously from the type of central positioning optimization that transformed Salah's game under Arne Slot. Tell, whose preferred position is between a 9 and a left winger, represents an ideal candidate for this tactical evolution. His two-footed finishing ability is very similar to what Thomas Frank was able to get from Brian Mbeumo at Brentford. Brennan Johnson obviously played on the right last year and was the top scorer, but with Mohamed Kudus coming in, could Brennan Johnson move to the left, which we've seen in pre-season, and potentially benefit from being able to be an inverted winger coming in on his strong foot? Thomas Frank's tactical flexibility would allow both Tell or Johnson to drift between central and wide areas based on game situations, similar to how Arne Slot optimised Salah's positioning to maximise his presence in dangerous zones. The statistical evidence suggests this positional freedom could increase both players' XG significantly while maintaining their defensive contributions. James Maddison's situation presents both immediate challenges and long-term opportunities for Frank's tactical system. The England international has not yet participated in pre-season due to his recovery from a knee injury that ruled him out at the end of last year. However, he is in the tour squad, suggesting that he could be available. The comparison with Mikkel Damsgaard's role under Frank at Brentford provides the clearest indication of how Maddison could be optimised. Damsgaard operated as number 10 in Frank's preferred 4-3-2-1 formation, contributing 10 assists in 34 Premier League starts. Crucially, for defensive balance, Damsgaard regained possession in the final third 35 times throughout the year, more than any other midfielder in the Premier League. This work rate represents exactly the type of two-way contribution that Frank demands from his creative players. Maddison's statistical profile suggests that he could excel in this role with proper positioning. The key difference between Postecoglou's usage of Maddison as an 8 in a 4-3-3 system versus Frank's potential deployment as a 10 in a 4-2-3-1 or 3-2-1 lies in the positional freedom and defensive responsibility. Under Frank's system, Maddison would have more license to occupy the final third consistently, similar to how Damsgaard averaged significantly more touches in advanced positions than traditional central midfielders. The statistical comparison between Dominic Solanke's final prolific Bournemouth season and his struggles under Postecoglou provides perhaps the most compelling evidence for Frank's potential impact. The data reveals a dramatic difference in service quality and positional optimisation between the two systems. At Bournemouth under Iraola in 23-24, Solanke scored 19 goals for an XG of 19.6, almost perfectly meeting his expected output with a conversion rate that demonstrated clinical finishing. His XG per 90 of 0.52 ranked among the Premier League's most productive strikers, and he recorded 239 touches in the penalty box across 38 appearances. The contrast with his Tottenham statistics under Postecoglou is stark and revealing. In 24-25, Solanke managed just 9 goals but from 8.7 xg. Critically, his xg per 90 dropped down to 0.37, a 29% decrease that suggests significantly fewer high-quality chances. His touches in the box have decreased proportionally, indicating that Postecoglou's tactical system wasn't positioning him optimally for his primary strengths. Frank's approach to striker optimization, demonstrated through his work with Tony or Wissa, focuses precisely on the type of service and positioning that made Solanke so effective at Bournemouth. The Danes' tactical emphasis on getting players into dangerous areas and creating numerical advantages in the penalty box aligns with Solanke's profile as a player who scored 17 of his 19 Premier League goals from inside the penalty area. The statistical evidence suggests that Frank's tactical adjustments could potentially restore Solanke's xG per 90 closer to his Bournemouth levels, representing a significant upgrade in Tottenham's attacking threat. His physical presence and finishing ability within Frank's system of creating overloads and coordinated movements could transform him from struggling striker into a consistent goal-scoring threat. All right, so it's another season or transfer window where we haven't seen much activity. So the squad have gone off to the tour and really only one player in. Time to panic, or maybe it'll be okay. If you look at, again, Slot's season last year, the approach demonstrates that a dramatic improvement doesn't necessarily require an extensive squad overhaul. The club really only made the one signing of Chiesa, and the restrained approach allowed Slot to focus on tactical refinement rather than squad integration. Thomas Frank's transfer activity at Tottenham has followed a similarly conservative path, with really only Mohamed Kudus coming in. This approach mirrors Frank's activity at Brentford, where he consistently achieved high success through tactical optimization rather than expensive squad overhauls. All right, bit of a defensive reality check is required. So while we focused extensively on the attacking optimization, the brutal truth is that Tottenham's path to Champions League qualification runs primarily through their defence. The numbers are stark. As I said earlier, Tottenham conceded 65 goals in 24-25. The 18-goal difference between them and Newcastle represents the single biggest obstacle to European qualification. Thomas Frank's defensive record provides exactly the template that Tottenham need. In Brentford's remarkable 22-23 season, Frank's side conceded just 46 goals, the sixth best defensive record in the Premier League, while finishing ninth. Even in their challenging 23-24 campaign, affected by injuries, they managed 56 goals compared to Tottenham's 65 in this last season. The tactical shift from Postecoglou's high line to Frank's compact mid to low block addresses Tottenham's core defensive vulnerabilities, where Spurs allowed 27 opposition touches in the box per match under Postecoglou. Frank's best teams excel at forcing opponents into low-quality shots from distance. His tactical intelligence means pressing when advantageous, but maintaining defensive shape when defensive pressure isn't viable. Set pieces perhaps represent the most immediate area for improvement. Tottenham conceded 6 goals from first contact after corners, more than any other Premier League team, while Frank's Brentford team consistently ranked amongst the team's best at defensive set pieces. This alone could save 5 to 8 goals per season. The defensive transformation is where the real magic happens, and frankly it deserves its own deep dive. So we'll be breaking down exactly how Thomas Frank's defensive principles could turn Tottenham from the leakiest defence in the top half into Champions League worthy backline in our next video, because in the attacking brilliance means nothing if you can't keep clean sheets when it matters. So look, the parallels between Arne Slot's Liverpool transformation and Thomas Frank's potential impact at Tottenham are absolutely staggering. But here's the reality check. What Thomas Frank needs to achieve at Spurs would actually be more impressive than Liverpool winning the league. Frank needs a massive 74% improvement just to get Tottenham into the Champions League places. That's the difference between fine-tuning a Ferrari and rebuilding an entire engine from scratch. But the blueprint is there, and it's proven. Tactical pragmatism over ideology, selective pressing instead of kamikaze football, optimising players like Maddison, Solanke or Son in getting them into their best positions, and those crucial marginal gains that Thomas Frank has mastered. The XG numbers don't lie. When players are positioned correctly, and the system works for them rather than against them, transformation happens fast. Here's the bottom line. If Frank can pull this off, it would be one of the most remarkable single-season turnarounds in Premier League history. Liverpool's title was brilliant, but Tottenham reaching the Champions League would be a greater achievement proportionally. So that's a wrap on this deep dive from Spurs Analytics Lab. This is our new channel and just getting started. So with this kind of data-driven approach to analysis, trying to cut through some of the noise and get to the real story behind the numbers. So I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you think Thomas Frank can actually pull this off? Which player optimization really excites you? Is Maddison being in a proper 10 position, or Solanke finally getting some service? Are you excited to see Tell coming in if Sonny leaves? Are you excited to see Johnson on the right coming in, getting into dangerous areas? And be honest, are you buying into this blueprint, or do you think I'm being way too optimistic about the parallels with Slot's Liverpool? Drop your thoughts below, hit that subscribe button, and if you want more tactical breakdowns like this, let's build something special here at Spurs Analytics Lab. COYS.